Starting on the inside, on the pole, position number 1 is car number 03. Out of Taunton, Mass, the HMW Motorsports, Mark Murphy Auto Body, TFB Racing and Mobile Mini Machine for Mike Henricks.
Outside of Henricks from Tiverton, Rhode Island, the Supply New England, car number 57 for Marissa Morgan.
Third on the grid out of Acushnet, Mass, Deletch Auto Body and Napa Auto Parts, number 27 for Emily Brightman.
Outside of Brightman from Tiverton, Rhode Island, it is Jared Cordera behind the wheel of car number 20.
Fifth on the grid out of Taunton, Mass, the G&G Auto Body, TFB Racing, B&A Auto and Towing, number 0 for Greg Perry.
Out of Taunton, Mass, is car number 67 is Tim Ouellette in the AJ Racing Machine.
Out of Fall River, starting 7th tonight, the TTM Motorsports, RGV Construction, Berger Recycling, number 77 for Joey Morissette.
Outside of Morissette, car number 41 out of Dayton, Mass, the TFB Racing, Dutch Auto Body Machine for Danny Massa.
Ninth on the grid out of Swansea, Mass, the Benoit Motorsports, Auto Mix Motor Groups, RDS Auto Parts, and Sampa Wraps, number 2 for Doug Benoit.
J. Lavoie Appliance Repair, Elmwood Auto Service, Springville Memory Care, and Lion Gate Real Estate bring us car number 01. Opening night feature winner from Swansea, Mass, two-time former champion for Scott Sestodio.
Starting 11th on the grid is car number 15, and that is Jeremy Lambert.
Outside of Lambert, the Boss Lady Graphics, TTM Motorsports, F&H Machine number 3 from Coventry, Rhode Island. Behind the wheel of that machine, it's Max Bergstrom.
13th on the grid out of Yarmouthport, Mass, is car number 34 for Sam Lincoln.
One Shop Technology is a proud partner with car number 23 out of Fall River, Mass. It's Mark Senkowitz.
15th on the grid out of Warwick, Rhode Island, car number 13 for Clay Petchke.
Taunton, Mass brings us the number 53. Behind the wheel is Arthur Miek.
17th on the grid on the inside row, the Harvey Landscape Services, Signs by 6 and Sanford & Son Auto Parts, number 14 for Justin Rio.
AA Concrete Finishes is the proud sponsor of car number 95. From Middleborough, it is Alice Benoit.
And starting in the 19th position, car number 20, Jared Cordera.
And starting scratch, on the field, in car number 74 from Exeter, Rhode Island, it's Jim Riley.
So field getting crossed up, we are ready to go racing for the Pure Stocks 30 laps in tonight's Everett's Auto Parts Diamond Dash Series. Mike Henricks, Marissa Morgan, your front row with Emily Brightman and Tim Ouellette in row number 2. We've had 3 great features so far tonight. Let's make it a 4th. Henricks, Morgan, side by side. They roll through 3 and 4. They hit the box. Green flag in the air. We're underway.
30 laps of pure stock action, and Mike Henricks jumps out front, leads the charge off of turn number 2. Marissa Morgan trying to hang on as they go 3 wide down the back straightaway. Perry down to the inside. Ouellette up on the outside. Massa in the middle, down across the stripe.
Huge chunk of cars. 3, 4 wide through turns 1 and 2. They're beating and banging. Somehow everyone stays straight as they race off at 2. Brightman the one to fall back as they head down through 3 and 4.
Off the corner they come, and Henricks continues to set the pace. Battle for second. Marissa Morgan doing a great job hanging on up top as the 0 of Greg Perry works in down on the inside as they head down into turn number 3. Danny Massa fills the hole. There's the 77 of Morissette. The 2 of Doug Benoit. Trouble for Miek down the back straightaway as he tries to get back to the pit area. Menard comes to a halt in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and that's going to bring out the caution.
53 of Miak, very slow as he races across the stripe. Menard in the 4 able to get it fired back up, and he'll race behind the wall.
Last Friday night, Mike Henricks had problems at the beginning of the first practice. It didn't feel right, so they had the car pushed back into the pit area. Turns out the right rear axle hub had broken off. Could have been disastrous if it came off at speed. Fortunately, it lasted on the car until they jacked it up to see what was wrong. They thought a loose wheel. Boy, were they ever close, but no cigar. They went back to the garage on the other side of Taunton, pulled the axle out of his other car, and raced back to the Speedway. Missed practice, missed the qualifying, and had to start scratch in the main event. In a race that went green to checker, not a bad job coming home 7th in the final rundown. Tonight, things look better already. He's made it through practice. He's made it through qualifying. And instead of starting scratch, he's starting on the point in that black and silver 03. His luck seems to be changing now. Can he hold off the hard charges of Marissa Morgan, who is running very well for her first time out of the season? Greg Perry, your reigning champion, the 41 of Danny Massa, the 77 of Morissette, the 2 of Doug Benoit, the 01 of Scott Sestodio, the 15 of Lambert, all strong runners in this pure stock division. It's going to be a tough 28 laps.
Absolutely will be, as we get ready. Arthur Miak's going to need a push down behind the wall. So a tough break for him in the 53. It was a great restart battle, or initial start battle, I should say, between Hendricks and Morgan. Tough break for Emily Bradman as she was shuffled onto the back, or at least the middle of the pack, because of some contact there. Very surprised. Great racing, I should say, at least through turns 1 and 2. 4 wide at a point, 3 wide throughout a majority of that last lap. And everyone went away unscathed throughout that mess. And then the Miak and Menard incident brings out our caution. But the field crossed up. We're getting ready to head back racing with Mike Hendricks and Marissa Morgan, your front 2. Perry and Massa side by side, your second row. Field rolls through, turns 3 and 4 on the throttle. They go. Green flag in the air. We're back underway. Mike Hendricks has a nose advantage down through 1 and 2. Some pushing from the 0 of Perry. Hendricks to the point. Perry now battling Morgan for second.
Side by side off the corner. Here comes Morissette to the inside of Danny Massa as Morgan gets kicked up 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Battle for that 5th spot now down the back straightaway. Benoit in the center. Sestodio down low. They both slide by the slipping Morgan.
Off the corner they come. Another lap off the board. It's Hendricks and Perry, your front 2. Massa in the mix on that outside lane in third. Joey Morissette by Benoit as he opts into that 4th spot, challenging now for third through 3 and 4.
Perry setting up the 0-3 across the stripe. 5 laps are complete as they head down into turn number 1. Bottom of the groove is the 0-3, the 0-77, 0-1. Up top, you've got the 41 and the deuce. A lot of former race winners up in the top 8. Here comes Lambert closing in the gap, and the Helger South Coast Power Equipment, number 15.
Off the corner they come, down the back and into turn number 3. Hendricks still holds on to the lead as 3rd through 6th, all bumper to bumper, side to side. Massa, Morissette, Benoit, and last week's winner, Scott Sestodio, race on down as your top 6, all bumper to bumper. Hendricks feeling the pressure from Perry.
Jim Riley in the 74, his debut in the pure stocks. He slides out of line and lets the field thunder by down on the inside. A bottleneck at the top of the field, being held by the 0-3 of Mike Hendricks, leading the charge down the back straightaway. Danny Massa climbing the ladder up top, takes over the number 2 spot, sets a sight on the leader off of 4.
Massa looking to the outside, trying to make the second lane work as they race down through 1 and 2. Massa side by side with Hendricks off the corner. Yellow flag is out as the 34 of Sam Lincoln, unable to make it all the way down into the pits. He stopped right at the entrance, and we'll throw the yellow. So yellow flag is out. Here comes the 13 of Petchke, waiting behind him. But a great battle throughout your top 7 or so, as they were all bumper to bumper for a number of laps there. Mike Hendricks doing everything he could to hold on to that lead, running that bottom lane. And you saw the 41 of Massa fight to the outside, just about take the lead until the caution came out. It's Hendricks with Massa to his outside. Can Danny Massa make it work this time? Off the restart, green flag in the air, we're back underway.
Danny Massa gets a good jump up on the outside as he heads down into turns 1 and 2. Hendricks trying to hang on, drifts up just a little bit. Perry takes a look down to the inside. Hendricks has got to play a little defense heading down into 3, and that allows Benoit to work his way up top.
Danny Massa to the point, Doug Benoit side by side with Hendricks as they race down through the corner. And here comes a charge from Scott Sestodio on that outside lane. He takes over third.
Morgan down the back straightaway. She goes around, and a hard hit. Justin Rio comes in after the fact and makes hard contact there. Morgan slides the car down to the infield as the safety crew goes to check on the drivers. Waiting for word on the scene. Justin Rio climbs out of his machine. He is okay. Word from the scene is both drivers are A-OK down there. But a hard hit nonetheless. Marissa Morgan came off at turn number 2. The back end started to snap out from underneath her. Looked like she was going to correct it, and it went back the other way. She had come to a halt. A couple of cars had come close to making contact. The 23 of Mark Seekonk crossed the nose just a little bit, tearing off the nose cone, and Justin Rio was hoping for a clear run and made heavy contact with the young lady. And here we are in the yellow again at lap number 10. So they've stopped the cars on the track to give the safety crew a chance to clean up down there, down the back stretch. Want to remind our fans, our folks from the pit area that have congregated out into the grandstand area, that when you are walking around up on the midway on your way to the restrooms or to the concession stand or back into the pit area, you do need to be wearing your mask. That is a state mandate from the governor of Massachusetts. We also want to remind you that we do request that you do social distance in the grandstand area. Keep your parties to 5 or 6. If you find yourself congregated in a group larger than that, we ask you to please separate.
Got to the lead using that outside lane. We'll see how he does here down on the inside.
Mike Hendricks not able to make it back out as of yet. We'll see if he can hit the field when they go running. It doesn't look like it as the field comes off of turn number 4. Green flag unfurls. Massa gets a good jump at the drop of the green. Benoit caught up top as they come off of turn number 2.
Down the back they go, racing into turn number 3. Benoit holds on to that second spot as he drifts up out of turn number 4. Greg Perry with a good run down on the bottom, looking to take third, but Benoit shoved it down to the bottom. He'll hold on. Trouble Sestodio around, and the caution is out.
He and Morissette made a little bit of contact. Field was able to keep on going. Neither car stopped on the racetrack, but the caution flag had already come out as Mike Hendricks has lost a lap on that exchange. And we are slowed up for the 4th time, the 77 heading pit side.
So last week's winner, Scott.
Joey Morissette rolling back out of the pit area as the field thunders off of turn number 4. We're back underway. As once again, Massa gets the jump and set sail. Trouble for Seekonk sideways into turn number 1. Trying to get that car straightened out. He does. We stay green down into turn number 3 and 4.
Off the corner they come. Doug Benoit battling in that second position with Greg Perry. as Benoit seems to push high off turn number 4. Perry looks low every time. He just can't quite get there as they race down through 3 and 4. Seekonk takes the 23 behind the wall. Another lap led here for Danny Massa.
Cadero gets all sorts of cross-stop down through turns 3 and 4. He raced on the inside of Scott Sestodio and tried to keep pace with him. And now he settles in 2 spots behind.
Down off turn number 4. Massa feeling the pressure from Doug Benoit as they cross the stripe into turn number 3. Through the corner they go, bumper to bumper. Benoit rolling right behind the 41 of Massa as we approach the halfway point off turn number 4.
15 down, 15 to go, and Danny Massa has a mirror full of red, white, and blue of Doug Benoit right on his tail. Benoit taking a peek down to the inside, settles it in back as the 74 about to go -2 to the leaders. Perry is about 3 car lengths back down the backstretch.
Off the corner they come. A little bit of contact there between Benoit and your leader, Danny Massa, as Doug Benoit knocking on the door of the 41. They race down the back into turn number 1, open up about a 4 car length lead over third place Greg Perry. Lambert, another 3 cars back from the 0.
We're going to put a battle up front. Doug Benoit gets a run underneath the 41 of Danny Massa. We've got a battle for the lead down the back straightaway. Massa caught up on the outside. Benoit looks to lead the charge off of turn number 4 with 12 laps to go. Our 4th leader of the event becomes Doug Benoit.
Doug Benoit off turn number 2 takes the lead, and he's feeling the pressure from Danny Massa, who gave it up but is still fighting back. They're racing down along the bottom off turn number 4. Benoit, another lap led.
Massa trying to wind up the 2 and find her weakness as they come off the second corner. Trying the high side, trying the low line, trying to get by the number 2 as they hit turns 3 and 4. It is still Benoit setting the pace with 10 to go as the Jazz Hands comes out for the field.
Oh, we saw Massa do it earlier. He made the pass on the outside of Mike Hendricks. Doug Benoit, though, seems to be having a better race than Hendricks did. So we'll see if Massa is able to utilize that same outside move. He doesn't seem to be doing it so far. If anything, he's looking inside. He has a nose underneath the 2 as they come off the corner, but Benoit strong off turn number 2 down the back into 3.
Couple of lap cars and Emily Brightman and Jared Cadero right in front of him. Cadero caught up on the outside as they head down into turn number 1.
Through the corner they go. Benoit gets a little bit of space from the 41 of Massa as they race up behind the 27 of Brightman. Off the corner they come. Doug Benoit down underneath the 27. Another lap led on the board. They race through 1 and 2.
A little bit of breathing room between the top 2 down the back straightaway gives the advantage to Doug Benoit as we are closing in on the 30 lap mark. Off of turn number 4 they come. A couple more lap cars, a 95 of Alice Benoit, and then the 4 of Justin Menard just in front of your leaders.
Down the back they go. Battle for third is non-existent as Greg Perry is in a land of his own, but back to 4th. Here comes Scott Sestodio. He sits in 6th, but he's right there behind Tim Willett and 4th place Jeremy Lambert. They race across the stripe down into 1 and 2.
Off the second corner they come. Actually, off the 4th corner your leaders come. Nose to tail. 2 car lengths separating them as they hit turn number 1. A little further back, you've got Greg Perry solidly in 3rd. 4th is Lambert, number 15, some heavy lap traffic. Willett takes a look to the outside. There's a roll off of turn number 2. Willett trying to take advantage of the lap traffic.
A big mess of cars there. 3 wide off turn number 4. Battling for that 4th position. Sestodio to the bottom. He's going to take 4th away into 1.
Brightman moves up the racetrack and opens up the bottom lane for Sestodio to pick up 2 spots on the exchange. From 6th to 4th down into turn number 3 he goes, and he's got that number 3 spot, number 4 spot a ways behind as your leader comes off of turn number 4. White flag high in the air for Doug Benoit.
Doug Benoit 2 car lengths over Danny Massa as Massa looks to close through 1 and 2. He starts to, but Benoit power off turn number 2 down into turn 3. Doug Benoit rolling through 3 and 4. Off the corner he comes. Checkered flag in the air. Doug Benoit takes home the win.
Danny Massa finishing in 2nd. Greg Perry will come home 3rd with Scott Sestodio 4th. And rounding out the top 5 is going to be Jeremy Lambert, the number 15. How about that? Taking down the win. 30 laps, the distance, round one of the Everett's Auto Parts Diamond Jubilee for the Pure Stock goes to Doug Benoit.
Doug, congratulations. A good round there. You were here for a lot of laps.
Yeah, that was fun. I always like these 30 lappers. I'm glad we had this Diamond Dash tonight. Thanks to all the sponsors for that. Yeah, that was great. New car this year. I want to thank my buddy Paul Tavares. We started on this thing as a bare frame and a rotted body in January, so it's sort of like the COVID car. It's been getting better every week, and little changes. I want to thank my sponsors. I actually have sponsors this year for the first time ever. Artie's Auto Parts, Auto Mix, Motor Group in Swansea, Benoit's Painting, and Auto MD.
Tell us about the extra distance event versus the 25. How much of a play did that have in the lines in January for the race?
Well, I always like the extra distance, being the oldest guy in the division. I think I'm a little more patient, and I kind of wait. Luckily, Danny got a little loose. I was able to jump inside him. But he's difficult to pass. The whole group up front this year. We got a nice group of guys. We're all good friends. It's hard racing every week.
Congratulations. Welcome back to Seekonk Victory Lane. Once again.